We take a look at this modified AR that's set up for defensive use. One of the things you're definitely going to notice about it is that we have a white light. This white light is set up with a master switch that is protected with a pressure switch that allows us to turn it on very quickly and efficiently, or even leave it on there, lock it on so that it's on all the time with this button. Of course, we're going to want it set up primarily for a pressure switch. If we have one of these options, it doesn't stay on all the time, so that we can use it intermittently and indirectly to find and identify our threat, and then leave it on if we need to for some administrative purpose. When we think about mounting a light to the firearm, the rail is almost always going to be involved. There are other ways to do it, but at this point, with the evolution of equipment and modification options that we have for the AR, I'm going to strongly recommend that you go to a rail-mounted device. Now, one thing you may do to expand getting the most bang for your buck is go to a pistol-type light. This light will work on a home defense gun if you decide to have a primary light in your hand and have this as a backup light. You also can attach it very quickly and easily to any of your railed ARs, or any other long gun for that matter. Some people will want to mount this underneath, especially with the laser, because when I mount this underneath, that's going to line the laser dot up with my bore more consistently over a longer period. Now, that longer period inside of a home defense situation isn't really going to matter as much. But you can see if I put this out here to the side, that's going to give me a situation where that laser is only going to be really aligned with the bore at one specific distance. And if I'm thinking about using this beyond the length of a room or the length of a home hallway, then that's going to be more of a compromise. So if I simply place this on the rail, slide it back down in, now I've got not only something to give me more tactile reference when I come up and get my grip on the firearm, but I also can set this to either being just that laser dot right there, I can set it to being the white light right there, or I can set it to being the laser and the white dot right there. And that's going to give me a lot of different options. Of course, this is a toggle switch which I can lock to on, or I can just apply some quick pressure with my support hand. Having a light and a laser is a great option for you to modify your AR for defensive purposes. Now, I don't recommend having your primary light in a defensive situation be mounted to your firearm. There are a lot of situations where armed professionals who know that they're going in, that they're going to have to put hands on people, that they may have to use other tools, flashbangs, for example, handcuffs, things like that. Maybe they're going to have to do something to get somebody out of the way and move through a dark area to get to the bad guy and get through that bystander, get through that other person. Firearm-mounted lights are a good option in those situations. They may be a good option for you in your home under certain specific conditions as well, but I prefer to use this as your secondary light, primary light in your hand. That's very easy to do with a handgun, not as easy to do with a long gun, so that's where you're going to want to have that option. Now, if you like the vertical foregrip, another way to do that is with this device here. This particular device integrates both the laser and the white light into one unit. We can open this up, get some space, slide this onto our rail. Once we get these situated in the right spots, make sure that they're open and aligned properly. Tighten this down. Of course, I'm just going to go hand tight. Because we're going to use a vertical foregrip as an actual interaction between our hand and the long gun, we certainly would want to get a tool involved, lock this down, make sure that that isn't going to go anywhere, because there's going to be potentially a lot of stress on that foregrip when we have our hand on it. Now, in this situation, again, if you like the foregrip, maybe you used to shoot the mag well, but you decided that maybe this doesn't work for you, you're a little cramped up, you're now going to want to come out here, or maybe this is how you've always fired the AR, either with the thumb up over the top or with your thumb wrapped around the foregrip. If you do happen to like that, now you've got the option of going here with a green laser on this particular device. Of course, red lasers are available as well. Or in another place, I'm going to push down and get white light. Of course, I can push down on both of them and I can get my laser and my light. I'm going to want to align them as best I can with my point of aim, so that as I come up, I'm going to be able to see that green dot, or I'm going to be able to see that white light and know that it is integrated very well with my point of impact, and I can use that laser as a point of aim. Now, when it comes to lasers on your long gun, I think of them as a tertiary sighting device. That is, it's your third option. Your primary option is going to be the red dot, your secondary option is going to be your iron sights, and your third option, or your tertiary option, may be a laser. The best use of the laser, of course, is for times when you can't bring the gun up into your good cheek weld position, you can't get into your good shooting position. If I'm compromised for some reason, I can now activate both the light and or the laser in this position, and when that laser dot comes up, I can look out and actually see it, know exactly where I'm oriented. If the alignment with the point of impact in the laser is precise, I can shoot in a compromised position, an unorthodox shooting position. And that's going to be the best use of the laser on the long gun for defensive purposes. So think about white lights, think about lasers as potential modifications for your AR.